okay. We are not doing okay. Because these are the people, these rogue leaders are the ones who have made it into government as your leaders. They're the ones deciding on policy. They're the ones who are deciding how your money will be spent. Most of them business people. We are led by merchants, commercial profit makers, capitalists par excellence. So when they see money, they don't see you anymore. And I am basically saying that that is the wrong way to do government. And I know we can sit here and talk until we go home and everything stays the same. I am so dissatisfied because the Constitution is the one thing that points out that that should not be the case. Sovereignty in Article 1 is only one starting point, and the preamble is even greater. But I want to tell you that nobody in this country called Kenya is allowed to lead, to hold a public office, a government office, without Article 10, that's chapter 2, chapter 6 of our Constitution, and Article 232 when it comes to public service. Niwaonjeshe tu Article 10, because yes, we say Article 10, but how many of you have ever even looked at it? This is titled National Values and Principles of Governance. There is no way you can govern without them. In fact, Clause 1 says the national values and principles of governance in this article bind all state organs, state officers, public officers, and all persons whenever any of them does A, applies or interprets this Constitution, B, enacts, applies, or interprets any law, or C, makes or implements public policy decisions. They can't do without this article. It binds them. So what is this that binds them? Clause 2. The national values and principles of governance include A, patriotism. So if you find somebody that is looking to another country more than Kenya, there you go, patriotism. National unity, sharing and devolution of power, the rule of law, democracy and participation of the people. All these are values. B, human dignity, utu, equity, social justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, non-discrimination, and protection of the marginalized. This is all part of what should make a good government officer. Then C is good governance, integrity, transparency, and accountability. And D is sustainable development. In other words, there is no government without these things. Now, let me skip to Article 232, because this has got to do with the public service. This is chapter 13, the public service. Part 1 is values and principles of public service. Values and principles of public service. And these include 232.1. It says the values and principles of public service include high standards of professional ethics. B, efficient, effective, and economic use of resources. C, responsive, prompt, effective, impartial, and equitable provision of services. And you can go on and on and on. Our Constitution does not mince words when it comes to the qualification of who can hold office and how they serve in that office. Allow me to finish by looking at chapter 6, because this is where the demons are. This is something the government officials, people in Kenya, do not want to enact. In fact, if we looked at chapter 6, a lot of the people in government today would not qualify. So if you're talking about government delivery, you are basically saying, do these people actually function in line with the Constitution and especially the values and principles of governance? So chapter 6 is titled Leadership and Integrity. And 73 in particular is responsibilities of leadership. It says 73:1, authority assigned to a state officer, A, is a public trust to be exercised in a manner that, 1, is consistent with the purposes and objects of this Constitution. 2, demonstrates respect for the people. 3, brings honor to the nation and dignity to the office. 4, promotes public confidence in the integrity of the office, and on and on. Now, when it comes to '74, this is oath of office of state officers. And this must always be read in line with the third schedule, which actually gives the specific oaths. And this is the point at which, if you saw me agitating recently, I was saying we need to impeach Ruto and his team, Gachagua and all of them. And the reason is they flouted the values of the Constitution of Kenya. They vow to uphold this Constitution. And that includes dignifying the people. It includes participation. It includes holding high moral standards. It includes Article 76, financial probity of state officers. It's all here. All here. 77 is restriction on activities of state officers. You're not supposed to be doing business with, privately and at the same time running the country. 79, legislation to establish the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Parliament has ensured it is almost toothless. We need prosecutorial powers given to these bodies. They're independent commissions anyway, so that we don't have people killing schoolgirls. We don't have people looting and hiding money overseas, still holding office. We don't have people insulting citizens in public, still being given offices. We don't create non-existent offices and get away with it. Only in Kenya. And tonight, I close by saying two things. One, lack of upholding the values and principles of governance will just make governing impossible. You can't deliver. And delivery is about service. If I give you a package to take to somebody, you make sure it gets to somebody. That is how leadership is. If citizens don't feel the leadership, you are not supposed to be in office. Get out. Kenya has a lot of good people, a lot of remnant professionals that can deliver. And lastly, I would want to say that I am very unhappy with all of you because you talk too much. You write too much. Everywhere. WhatsApp groups. You know, so-and-so has done this one, a forward here, and another one there, a commentary there. And you know, the enemy loves that. Our enemy, the enemy of a better country, loves it when you keep talking. Just talk. In fact, they can fund you to talk, as long as you don't unite and get into action. So I don't know how many times I keep saying, we've talked enough. It's time to act. And Kenya will not change until we act. So many wonderful progressives, so many wonderful people in civil society, so many wonderful people in the church, so many wonderful people in the mosques, everywhere. But you are just that, wonderful people. You can't bite. You can't push anything. And I'm here to ignite you to move, act, join me, speak, agitate, tell them off when they go wrong. When they flout values, tell them off. And I say this with all due respect, that we actually never quite had an opposition. I hope you have proved it now. And from now on, I'm hoping you know, as Kenyans, you are on your own. Until we come together and unite and insist on values. And so I'm pushing a movement we are calling Maadili Nation. And this is not about those people out there. It's about me. It's about you. Kenya has gone rogue because as parents, we are no longer teaching values at home. Schools are no longer interested in entrenching values. Churches are preaching prosperity and how to get rich. No wonder envelopes are attractive. We need to come out and realize that these people come from among us. That if someone has been lying to you every 5 years, if you elect them, you can take it to the bank, they'll lie to you. If they've been stealing, they will steal. So time has come to identify value-based leaders who are not tainted. I'm not talking about 100% perfection. Nobody is. We're not angels. But we know those who've not stolen. We know those who tell the truth. We know those professionals that can deliver. Let's put them in office, whatever it will take. And I'm here to push you to do that. God bless you, and God bless Kenya.